Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
I am paging Dr. Chanda.
I am the Dr.
And I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Paging Dr. Chanda podcast, all things related to the Black culture.
Revolt. The doctor in front of your name.
Are y'all getting something from this? Y'all learning from Keke?
I'm so glad.
Okay. Do y'all have questions in your mind that you want to ask her? Okay, so start getting your questions in your mind. I gave somebody my phone, so I need to know what time it is. Somebody shout out the time. 6:30. Okay, perfect. Okay, so in a couple minutes, we're going to start getting into Q&A, but we got a few more questions about Master of Me. All right, so thinking about the way in which you're writing, and you talked about you are not on anyone else's timeline but your own.
Yeah.
And that's a big one for us because I feel like for our generation, we have the boxes we want to check at certain ages. Like by this age, I want to do this. By this age, I want to do that. Why is that important for you to like tell everybody else like, nah, we got to free ourselves from this timeline?
Because I think it's another thing that like doesn't make you feel free enough to even enjoy the path and the journey that you're on to do and be whatever you're supposed to be. Like purpose, that word, it can be so awesome, but also it can feel like something you're trying to catch or something that you have to fulfill. I mean, in my mind, purpose can be over the course of a time, or it could be like in a minute. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with the work that I did in Keelan and Me, if I never did another movie again, the impact of that movie has meant so much to me. You know what I mean? So we overbear ourselves with sometimes this idea of purpose, and it can make us feel like we're running out of time, but you know, for me, I think faith, which I speak about a lot in the book, is what helps me to know that, you know what, I don't have to try to, whatever that's going to happen for me, it's going to happen for me. Let me try to have fun. That makes it actually easier to come to me. And then there was something else that I wanted to say about this. Repeat the original question. It will remind me.
So the timeline. So being on other people's timeline. Just being on your own.
The other thing is, you're never out of time, and I always use Morgan Freeman as an example because I always knew him he was old. My mama told me he was young acting. I'm like, really? She said, girl, he was acting for years, but I didn't meet him till he was in his 50s. You know what I mean? But he was acting all those years. What if Morgan was at 30 like, nah, it ain't happening quick enough? We would never got Lean on Me, Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans, wrong actor. You know what I'm talking about. Tried to get me messed up. I know y'all was like, remember the time? All Morgan's movies down. But, you know, my point is that a lot of times when you meet somebody where they're at, if they had stopped because that wasn't the age or it was supposed to happen sooner, it would have never happened. So, we can't do this whole age thing and this is the timeline. And I get it as a woman, you're thinking about kids, and that also can play a part sometimes. My family, do I get married? I always say follow your heart. Follow what's true to you. And everything will work out. That, following that gut, you can never go wrong.
Yes, that's so good. Because, Keke, while you were talking, like, thinking about other people's timelines and, like, I got to do this, what's next, I got to achieve this or that or whatever, a lot of times that comes from not being in a place of being content with where you are now.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And, like, it sounds like you kind of, like, outlined that. Like, how can we kind of be in the space to where we're accepting of it and also kind of progressing to the next thing?
Yeah, I think it's coming from a place of gratitude. And really, honestly, comparison, we hear it again, it's another cliche, but it's true, is the thief of joy. It really is, guys, and it's unfair because that person didn't even start where you started. So how can you compare yourself to them when y'all had two different beginning points and y'all had two different lives and two different perspectives? You know what I mean? So I remember my dad, I was having another conversation with him, and he just randomly called me. He was like, Keke, I just want you to know that the only person you should ever compare yourself to is yourself. Because think about it. Oh, go ahead. Yes, clap for my dad. He's so wise. My dad is a great man. And he said, I remember the little girl from Robbins, Illinois, and I don't think she ever thought she would be where you are now. So as far as I'm concerned, you're a success. And that's what we have to remember, guys. Like, we are a success, not based off of what somebody else is, but based off of us being just simply better than we was yesterday. That's a success. And so that's honestly, if you're putting it into like one word, that's just that's the work of gratitude. Having gratitude for where you are will always help you to put things in perspective in terms of where you think you should be.
See, this is why we need the book. Like, we can't wait till November 19th. Like, we need it now.
OMG, well, good thing I got him. I'm just kidding, I don't have him. She just set it up like that. I felt like I had to go, you get a book, you get a book, you get a book, you get a book. Oh my God.
You sure you're not a comedian too? Should we add that to the list of things that she does?
You know, we gotta laugh. We gotta laugh.
I can see that for you too, like a special, like it. I can.
Girl, that would be too much fun.
Yes.
Yes, very silly.
I love it though. I love it. So in your book, you also talked about unconditional love and worthiness. Right? And so these two concepts, I'm wondering, why is it important for readers to know this in order to master themselves?
Well, and I talk about this too in the book, that for me it comes from a faith point of view. And I think also in terms of how I realize that relationships, in my opinion, should have conditions in life, because I already have unconditional love from God, and God has the unconditional love from me. So everything else, like, get it together, boo. You know, because no. And that was something I had to learn. You know what I mean? Seriously. That was something that I had to learn. And so I think the unconditional love for self and that relationship with God, the stronger that is, the more that you feel grounded in that, the easier it becomes to have the proper limits on what you will accept and not accept in your life. Because you're not looking for somebody to fill that cup. You're not looking for that love externally. You're having it from within. And so when you're solid in that, and then honestly, it always goes in and out. You know, life is always, and then it's like, whoo, G-O-D, it's been a minute. Let me get back linked up, because I've been out here tripping. You know, you can always get back in it, you know what I mean? But when we do for me, this is, and the book is about how I've mastered me. I can't tell other people. And I think it's so big because a lot of people don't know how they feel spiritually. They've had a hard time. The church done did them wrong. Their mama judged them. And you know what I mean? It's hurtful a lot of times. But to me, it's really about a personal relationship, you know, that lets you know that I'm good regardless. And I'm never truly alone. And so that, knowing that and reminding myself that I have that and that I'm worthy regardless of what's happening outwardly, it helps me to navigate what is a very lonely place most of the time.
And I love how you're... yeah. It sounds like healing is happening in the room right now as we're talking about it.
You know, and that's why I love to speak about this kinds of stuff and speak about hardship. A lot of times nobody wants to speak about it, but the truth is, and this is what I think is the grace of God, is like, we alone, but we alone all together. You know what I mean? That's some crazy stuff, ain't it? Like, we all alone on the lowest of keys, but we all in the room here alone together. And that's the community. That's the beauty of community. That's why, for me, growing up with my family and having that sense of community, that always helped us, because it is hard. But when you look over to your brother or your sister and you say, I'm having it hard too, then you feel you have a sense of perspective that, you know what, I'm not alone in this hardship. Everybody's dealing with it. Everybody got a monkey on their back, whatever it is. You know what I mean? We're all dealing with it, and it helps you to know that I can get through. And so with everything I do, whether it's a movie and you're watching Aquila and the Bee, we're all in there together, or we're here, we're talking about the book, or even the book when you're reading the book or listening to the audio book, I'm hoping that it creates a sense of community. You know, where you can say, oh, Keke too, and then you can say, did you get the book? Because, oh, yeah, me too. Well, let's talk about it now. 3 of y'all together talking about it. 4 of y'all together, or a room of y'all. You know, that's, to me, that's the purpose of what I put in my artistry and my work, is to say, we here together, and it's tough, but let's try to create a moment of enjoyment, entertainment, paradise while we're here, if we can.
Yeah. And you being, y'all can clap it up. You being transparent in your walk in this and like just figuring it out, it allows other people, even in this room, to feel validated. Like, I feel seen by the words that Keke is expressing. So we definitely appreciate you for that.
That means the world to me. It truly does. Thank you so much. It really does.
Yeah. So when we think Keke Palmer, I always think like, yo, she is the master of rebrand.
Oh
like
my
the way
gosh.
yes, for sure. Like the way you brand yourself and rebrand, like it's literally an art to it. And you share in your book how restarting your career after 10 years in the industry, I'm wondering, why do you think it's important for readers to recognize when it's time for a reset
Yes.
and to choose a new direction in your own life?
Well, the book has a lot of personal stuff to it, but it also has a lot of business stuff to it as well. So I love how you brought up the rebrand and just being multifaceted and a career person. We're obviously in such a corporate overlord. I think more than ever, like, it's just so much going on. It's hard to figure out how to get your footing or feel autonomous. And I feel like for me,
when something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
I found that in being able to diversify my portfolio in every aspect and using the leverage that I've had and what I've learned skill-wise from other companies and taking them to other avenues, whether it be me as an entertainer and performer, taking that to hosting or taking that into being an author or whatever it is. And I think for me, it sounds like it's more work, and it probably is, but there's so much freedom in that when I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. And so my desire is to also help readers feel like, okay, I can do my own thing, and I don't have to. Look, if I want to depend solely on this one thing, and I do have a vision of totally just making my way up into that one company, then that's great. But if I want to be able to feel like I could say no sometimes, then maybe I do need to pick up a couple of side things. And that seems crazy, and that seems like, oh my gosh, that's too much. But when you get into the groove of it, you realize that, oh, wait a minute. Now I have the power of no, because I got another job over here. I don't need this one gig. And then that means that the corporations, they don't get to have as much control over you, because you kind of got, you dating all of them. You know what I mean? I mean, as a kid, my mom had me working for Disney and Nickelodeon. There wasn't no kids doing that.
Come on.
She was like, you with Nick and Disney. And I was like, yeah, I'm with Nick and Disney. So I believe in that. I think there's freedom in that, you know.
Yeah. That's why I don't really like the phrase, a jack of all trades is a master of none. I do not, that doesn't
And we
resonate.
talk about that in the book, that the actual continuation of the phrase is, jack of all trades, master of none is often better than a master of one. Because that quote came around during the Industrial Revolution. So people wanted you to focus on one industry. They needed you to do that so that they could build their industry. But if you focus, keep clapping, yes. He says, preach. When you focus on you and what's important to you, and you are the industry, and you use the industries that are helpful to what you are trying to do, well, then they're actually working for you. You know, if you look at the businesses that you work with as trade schools, well, actually, I'll take this job. The money is okay, but I'll be able to put that skill on my portfolio and go over here to these other people and let them know that now I know how to do X, Y, and Z. And they actually paid me to learn that skill. So the gag's on you. Okay? Like, that really helps you. It helps you feel better, because otherwise you're going to be looking at it like, I'm getting paid little. I don't want this. This doesn't feel like it's intentional. I don't have clarity on where I'm taking it. But when you think about it from the fact of they're actually paying me to learn a skill that I can use for other stuff, oh, well, we're going up from this.
Only up from here. And Keke,
thank you.
yeah. What they said, all the way up?
All the way up. I heard that in the back. That gave me life. All the way up.
What is one overall lesson that you want the viewers and the readers to take away from this book?
The overall thing I think that I want to say, I guess, with the book is just like, I mean, honestly, I think about that Jordan Sparks song, one step at a time, is no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. Life is a journey, seriously. And all we can do is obtain the skills we can to move on to the next, to be patient with ourselves, to have grace, to hug on your community. Let your community hug on you. Be real with what you're going through. Then get up the next day and try again. It's just, for me, that's what I'm sharing in the book, is that to get to be where I'm at. If somebody looks at me and say, Keke Palmer, she's doing it. Well, it hasn't been linear like that. It's been like this. And guess what? Now I'm at the stage where I embrace that. I accept that. I expect that, because I know it's only going to make me better. And so I think that's what my hope is. So to embrace the hard times just as much as you embrace the good times.
Well, if you ain't helped nobody else today, you helped me, because I feel like I'm in that zigzag stage that you talked about. So
we never get out of it. It's
Come
like
on.
too much. It's crazy. Life is just, you be like, God, quit. You funny.
Did y'all get anything from this conversation? Okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, because y'all had the energy high the whole time.
They really did.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
I love it. So we're going to go ahead into our Q&A portion.
Okay.
And we have a microphone in the audience, so you all can just raise your hand if you have a question for Keke.
$50 a question.
If you were going to do a vision board, what a couple of things would you have on your vision board for the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, that is such a great question.
I like that.
So on a vision board, and when we think vision board, like things that I want to do in the future, like, you know, what I would manifest for myself, correct? So I would probably have so I have an organization called Key TV that is both exists like a foundation and a network. We showcase the work on all digital platforms, but we also finance, you know, BIPOC creative projects in totality, you know, just to help, you know, because it's hard to get our stuff started and use our platform and our sponsors to promote it. So I would love to be able to have a festival with Key TV. You know, I would love to have a festival where we can showcase more of the work. I would love to have more partners to help us bring more classes to some of the people that want to learn different things to do in the industry, from being a costumer to being a director of photography, a prop master, all the jobs that are not as popularized. You know, in our community, I think it's mostly like being the player as opposed to being the owner. And so really showcasing all the things you can do in the industry. So I would love to have more established with Key TV, more sponsors, and a festival that we can showcase more of the work. And then I would love to have a daytime talk show. That would be fabulous. I would love that. That would be fab.
I can see that.
I would love it. Hey, you know it's your girl. So look, this is what we're getting into. I would live for that. I would live for that. What else would I love to do? You know, I would love to have more kids. That would be great. I would love to have more children. Yeah, I think those are in my immediate mind when you said that's what I would love. Yeah. Thank you. That would be so fun, waking up with y'all in the morning. It's too good. How you doing?
Hey, Keke. Do you mind if I get close a little?
Yes,
Is that okay?
I don't mind at all. Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Yadi, and I'm here with my team, actually, One Village Alliance, and we have an event coming up this Saturday. Girls Can Do Anything. And I'm putting together a series of videos from influential women for the International Day of the Girl Child, which is tomorrow.
Okay.
It promotes the challenges that girls face globally, and it promotes you know, the education and mental health awareness that girls need overall. And I'm putting together a series of video where I'm asking women, what would be one message that you would give to younger girls all around the world?
Okay, one message I would give to younger girls all around the world. One question. Right, I'm like, that's a loaded one. You gotta be right. Okay. You filming me? Okay, I would say you already got everything you need, just let it come out.
I like that.
You said what? Free Palestine. Amen. Yes, amen.
Hi. I just wanted to know, do you have any advice for young actresses such as myself who want to have a professional acting career?
This one is so tough because there's so many different entry points of the industry. Like when I was a kid, there was really no internet or digital stuff in there. I mean, we had internet, but it wasn't like Instagram and Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think MySpace had started yet. So I had to do it the traditional way, finding an agent. You know what I mean? And I can give you tips on finding an agent. Is someone shouldn't be asking you for money right off top. They should get a percentage. A typical percentage would be somewhere between 5 to 10% of the money they help you make. And there are tons of different, agencies that you can go to that are specific for the type of work that you want to do. But then nowadays, there's so many other ways to be an actor where you could simply just act. You can act doing videos online. You can find a community theater and do work in your community theater or at your school. Or you can make one. You could create a theater with like-minded people that, hey, let's do something together. I want to get my creativity out. I want to be an actor. It's truly just about anything you want to do, whether it's acting, singing, dancing. It is about doing.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
The thing and finding ways to do the thing. And I think the most difficult thing about being an artist for any artist is thinking that doing the thing means a certain level of validation. If you really love the thing, you'll do the thing, no matter who's watching. And so I think always keep that in mind.
That's really good. Awesome. We have one in the back.
Hey, Keke.
Hey.
So my name is Annette Fletcher. I am a queen, as is my sister, Andrea Blassingame.
Hey, boo.
And we are here celebrating the queendom, and we just wanted to share how we see the queen in you moving in authenticity and continuing to encourage women and girls. We see the queendom in you, and we just wanted to say that we are here to celebrate you. We appreciate you. You are amazing. And thank you for finding the time to come and celebrate the women and girls here in Delaware. We sincerely appreciate you.
Thank you. It truly means the world to me. Seriously, this is my life's work. This means the world to me. So thank you.
We have one back here.
Hello.
Oh. Hey, with the baby.
Hi, Ms. Palmer. My name is Sarisa. So I am a single working mother with 2 jobs. And I just
Come on, Reba.
I just want to know how you deal with kind of the harsh reality of being a woman of color, having to work so much and being away from your child and the guilt that gets placed on you. How do you kind of cope with that a little bit? Because I know your job is way harder than mine.
It's really hard. The guilt part that you just said, it's really, really hard. What do? I think I really lean on my mom for that support to help me. I think as moms, we really put ourselves in these specific boxes of what a good mother is. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, a good mother is providing for the baby, and how do you expect me to provide for the baby and be with the baby if the baby can't be at my job? And then I got to have more jobs in order to provide for the baby, especially because I'm a single mama, and as a single mama, which is it, y'all? And it becomes so stressful. So for me, the best way that I deal, sometimes I cry, sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I say, Mom, I feel like, am I doing enough? Am I doing it right? Does he really know how much I love him? And you just get so in your head. And my mom tells me, girl, I dropped you off at my mama's house and left. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was at grandma's a lot. And she was like, you turned down fine. She said, it's not about the quantity of time. It's about the quality of time. That's good. And that really helps me. It really does,
Yeah. Right over.
I was like, dang, mama.
We have one over here.
Hi, Ms. Palmer. My name is Ashley, and you talk a lot about your faith and your love for God, and I want to know, as a church girl myself, how you maintain that faith and that love for God in the Hollywood industry.
Well, you know, I mean, look, y'all. Y'all know, just like I know, everywhere you go to work, people don't pray. People don't connect with God per se. Doesn't mean they're all terrible people. They just don't have the same. You know what I mean? Like just because they don't follow what you follow, it doesn't mean they're a bad person. So, you know, I think for me, I do what my dad raised me to do, which is treat everybody how I want to be treated. And if somebody's doing something that I don't really jive with, then I'm not involved with them. But just like with every industry, every job, there are people that you connect with and there are people that you don't connect with, whether that be personally, morally, or spiritually. And you just know that that's not, you know, if, hey, they did a little something that I didn't see, what they talking about? I'm going to stay away from that. Or, you know, she cool. Wow, I didn't know. She opened my eyes about that. You know, it's just relational in life. And, you know, I think I am the kind of person that's very open in terms of my faith. It's like I do everything I can never to be righteous in my faith. It's like, that's my faith. I read the book for me. I don't read the book to tell you what to do. So that I think that's also the thing. Is like, you know, I believe what I believe, you believe what you believe. As long as you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. You know, that's how I feel about it.
I love it. We have another one back here.
Hi, Keke. My name is Corey. My question is, what was it like to make the movie Alice with Common? And also, what's your dream role?
I loved working with Common, y'all. First of all, Common was trying to turn me into a vegan. Those meals were good. I was like, Common, you was eating like this? I know vegans had it like that. He was so nice. I really loved it. I mean, we're both from Chicago. I mean, he's from the city. I'm from the south suburbs. Just a really nice person, and we both cared so much about the message of that movie and doing something that, if you guys haven't seen Alice, it's like kind of like a aspirational, like little black exploitation, but about slavery and civil rights. It's very hard to put it all into context here, but it was such a heavy subject that we wanted to no longer want to talk about history, but want to not talk about it from the place of the oppressor. Talk about it from the place of the surviving people, about the strength, the power, the courage. And so anyway, working with him was awesome because we both came in with the same state of mind. And he's become a great friend and, you know, just a great guy all around. And then to the other question, there was another part to that. My dream role. I love that, yeah. My dream role. That's hard, guys. Well, I mean, the biopic that I would have loved to do, obviously it would be great to do Angela as well. But the biopic that I always wanted to do, they done did too many of them. You know what I mean? It's my girl. And I wish you joy. You know, that would just be everything to play my girl Whitney. But they've done too many of them. So it's like, let's let her rest. Because, like, how many more wigs we gonna put on? That's too much. You know what I mean? We done seen too many iterations, y'all. It's like, give me a break. So, but her story, if I thought about a biopic. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. You know, I would just, any role that is impactful, good storytelling, can take people on a journey, I would love to do.
All right, we have one more.
I just wanted to move back to faith really quick and ask you if your faith is something that gave you the courage to do roles like hosting HBO's Legendary or Pimp, because, you know, that part of our community gets shut down a lot, and you know.
It's so true, and 100%, it definitely is. I think the thing about it is what I was saying to the other young lady is that the God I know loves everybody. I don't know the God that don't love everybody. That's not the God I know. So for me, I mean, the Pimp character, that's my cousin Natalie. She was there with us Easter Sunday, Christmas, church. I mean, that's my family, and I love her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like all that. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, God's love is inclusive. He created us all. He knows all our journeys. He knows where we're going, where we're going to be. And so for me, yes, you know, when I look at Legendary or Pimp or anything that is apparently off or not what it's supposed to be in God's eyes to some people, to me, that is a part of my work, to tell those stories and hopefully open people's hearts to see things differently, you know.
I love it. I love it. Amen. I think that was our last question. Yeah, okay. So we are out of time, y'all. Did y'all enjoy Keke?
Thank you, guys.
Yes, let's stand up.
Thank
She
you,
did
guys.
her thing.
I really, really appreciate you guys all being here. It's a wonderful introduction to Delaware. Such beautiful people, all of you here tonight. Thank you for listening, and hopefully you're interested in the book. I love you guys too, but I have enjoyed this time. I truly have. I truly have.
You did an amazing job. Thank you for coming to Little Old Delaware. I want to see her back. Y'all want her to come back?
Can we get a group photo with the audience?
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
This is ludicrous.
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.